If the devil stood in front of you right now and commanded you to commit the worst sin imaginable, you would immediately refuse. You have faith in your heart. Your spiritual alarm bells would ring loud and clear. The devil knows this perfectly well. He knows that a direct, aggressive attack on a believer is almost always a losing battle. So he doesn't fight you directly. Instead, he uses a terrifyingly patient, step-by-step strategy. Hundreds of years ago, brilliant Islamic scholars uncovered this exact psychological playbook. They realized the devil doesn't need you to jump off a cliff today. He just needs you to take one tiny, comfortable step downward. He operates using a precise 5-level trap. And the scariest part of this entire blueprint? You are probably stuck in one of these levels right now, and you don't even realize it. The foundation of your spiritual downfall doesn't begin with a sudden rebellion against God. It begins with comfortable, numbing laziness. If Shaytaan sees that your defenses are strong and you refuse to commit an actual sin, he drops you into level 1. The trap of wasting time on completely permissible things. The whisper in your mind at this stage is flawlessly logical. It tells you, I prayed today. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just relaxing. So you end up scrolling on your phone for 4 hours straight. You binge watch an entire season of a show in one weekend. You aren't breaking any rules, so your moral alarm system stays completely silent. There is zero guilt. But this is a masterclass in deception. The hidden danger is that he is deliberately draining your most irreplaceable asset, your time. And the emotional cost of this is a quiet, creeping emptiness. When you flood your mind with hours of useless digital noise, your heart becomes heavy, crowded, and exhausted. So when you finally stand on your prayer mat, your body is there, but your soul is thousands of miles away. You say the words, but you feel absolutely nothing. Your prayers become hollow, rushed, and completely disconnected. You haven't committed a major sin, but the devil has successfully turned your intimate conversation with God into a lifeless chore. Your spiritual discipline slowly rots away. And once you are perfectly comfortable in this numb, empty state, the floor subtly drops out, lowering you into the next trap. With your spiritual guard completely asleep, the devil introduces level 2, minor sins. Because you are already spiritually lazy, his new strategy relies on making you compare your small mistakes to other people's massive crimes. He whispers, "Come on, it's just a small thing. You are just venting in a group chat. It's just a 2-second glance at a video you shouldn't be watching. You aren't hurting anyone, you aren't stealing, and after all, God is the most merciful." These sins feel like tiny paper cuts to the soul, completely harmless on their own. But classical scholars warned of a terrifying reality. Repeating a small sin over and over again turns it into a massive one. It is not about the size of the mistake. It is about the sheer arrogance of continuously ignoring the Creator. These daily, unrepented habits build up a thick, black layer of rust on your heart. You become completely numb to the feeling of doing something wrong. And when your heart is finally numb enough, you are ready for the abyss. Level 3 is the trap of major sins. The transition into this darkness rarely feels like a sudden leap. It feels like the natural result of 1,000 crossed boundaries. At this stage, the devil's whispers completely change. He stops making the sin look small and starts making it look absolutely necessary. He uses your own desperation against you. He convinces you that you are already too emotionally attached to that toxic, impermissible relationship, so you can't back out now without breaking someone's heart. He tells you that everyone in the modern world deals with interest and shady loans, and you absolutely need to sign that contract just to survive. He makes the major sin feel like an unavoidable tragedy of modern life. But here is the most brutal, calculated twist of his psychological warfare. The absolute second you actually commit that major sin, the devil stops being your cheerleader and immediately becomes your harshest judge. He fills you with intense, crushing shame, making you feel permanently ruined. He does this to set up his final traps. But what if you are someone who strictly avoids major sins? What if your traditional morality is simply too strong? The devil has a backup plan just for you. If he cannot make you disobey, he will execute a masterful pivot. He will try to make you over-obey. This is level 4, religious innovation or making up new ways to practice the faith. The devil actually loves this trap more than he loves major sins. Think about it. A person who commits a major sin knows they are doing something wrong. Eventually, the guilt might break them, and they will cry and ask for forgiveness. But a person who invents a new way to worship genuinely believes they are doing God a massive favor. They see absolutely no reason to ever repent. The whisper here targets your ego. It tells you that the standard, disciplined path of the prophet is just for average, uneducated people, but you are special. You need a deeper, more emotional connection. So you start mixing modern trends with your faith. You change the rules to make the religion look cooler or more progressive to the outside world. You bypass the humility of pure submission and become the arrogant author of your own salvation, destroying your faith from the inside out while smiling the entire time. Finally, if he breaks you down enough through the previous stages, he pushes for his ultimate victory at level 5, cutting off your connection to God completely. He does this by pushing you to one of two extreme edges. The first extreme is showing off. You might set up a camera tripod to record your most intimate acts of worship. You film yourself praying, crying, or giving charity to the homeless, just to harvest the validation, praise, and likes of a digital crowd. You trick yourself into thinking you are inspiring others, but in reality, you have turned your worship into a performance. You are doing good deeds for the audience, effectively making an idol out of your own ego. The second extreme is absolute despair. This is where he weaponizes the shame of your past mistakes. He whispers that you are too toxic, too dirty, and too much of a hypocrite for Islam. He convinces you that your personal failures are somehow bigger and more powerful than the infinite mercy of God. The guilt becomes so agonizing that you decide to just give up. You stop praying, you walk away from your faith, and you hand the devil his ultimate final victory. Spiritual destruction is never an accident. It is a highly structured, patient campaign designed to slowly wear you down. But understanding this playbook gives you the ultimate advantage. You defeat this step-by-step trap by guarding your free time with ruthless discipline. You defeat it by treating small sins like deadly poison and sticking strictly to the simple, pure teachings of the Prophet. And most importantly, you ruin the devil's entire master plan by maintaining a fierce certainty that no matter how far down those steps you have fallen, God's mercy is vast, infinite, and always just one sincere apology away. If this video opened your eyes, make sure to subscribe and share it to protect others.